Man, you know what? I've got so much to say right now, I almost don't even know where the heck to begin. I mean, it is just blowing my mind. Okay, so for simplification and keeping myself organized, we're going to break this video down into sections so that we can understand what this video is going to be about. The first section is going to be basically talking and giving an overview, introduction, if you will, and that's just going to set the tone. But basically in the next section, what we're going to be talking about is how YouTube in particular has evolved into YouTubers being basically speculators, apologists, angry ranters, coming from where they used to be Let's Players and people that used to give tips and solutions to your gameplay. Next, I want to talk about the impact that these influencers have on you in your decision-making process, whether it be from the games that you play to the games that you purchase or the decisions that you make in general. Lastly, we're going to wrap up with a conclusion, and I'm just going to leave it with that, but it's going to be great, so you're going to want to stick around for it. Okay, so let's go back in time a bit, back to when I first started finding and reaching out to find more information on Total War as somebody that was in the community for a while. I'd been in Rome circles for a while, playing Rome Total War and then Medieval 2. And then when Empire came out, God, it's crazy. It's 11 or 12 years ago. That's when I really first started checking out to see what people were saying about it in other forums and YouTube and so on and so forth. Because Empire was a very different game from all the other ones, and it started off kind of buggy. So I went online to seek other people's advice and opinions and so forth. And where that led me to was people like Synoptic Cam and Palul, where these guys did a lot of online battles and campaigns and had really informative videos on their tactics and so on and so forth. But I think the first person I really came across was Prince of Macedon, and Prince of Macedon had such an ability to narrate battles that made it just in capturing. Like I always thought, what the hell would make somebody want to watch somebody else play a video game? Because when I was a kid and I had to sit and watch my friends play and wait for my turn, that always pissed me off. I wanted to be the one playing. But it's Prince of Macedon that really showed me that people can be very entertaining in their narrations and how they present the battles that they're covering. That changed my impression of that and really made me seek out more of this type of content. So all that started with Prince of Macedon. Oh boy, this section is going to hurt some feelings, I hate to tell you, but this is something we definitely need to talk about. Okay, so right now we still have YouTubers that do a lot of Makamas, which is great. I love those type of videos. We got people that do just excellent editing work, such as Rick and Seth. You got people that do Let's Plays out there still. You got like Asini. You've got Total War Mala, who is just another guy who does fantastic stuff out there. Also, we have ATK Productions, who does excellent Makamas and live streams that also include Total War content. You got some other people out there to do fantastic reviews on games, giving their insights and opinions and so forth on the games, just like you would see anywhere. These are informative videos that help you to select whether you want to purchase a game or not, or whether a mod is for you or not. These are informative videos that give you some background into the game and let you know how this particular person feels about that game. You also have YouTubers that have done a lot of criticism videos of Total War and the current state of where Total War is. Okay, so we're going to dive into Valoon's channel a little deeper. So here we have this YouTuber who has put up a lot of critiques and criticisms about CA and about their handling of the current games that are being produced. Now, where he has given criticisms, he has also given his things that he likes and wants to see more of. And it's not just been only criticisms, although definitely the criticisms take the highlights from his videos, and the praise that he gives is very much to the backside. He doesn't really publicize it as much in his videos as he does the criticisms. So he is somebody that has become a controversial figure in a lot of ways. Whether that is justified or not is not for me to say. It's simply that I do believe Valoon has some exceptionally good points about the things he's discussing in the criticisms. So now we come to channels such as Melkor and Admiral Price, or Price, who have channels that have a lot of videos that seem to be almost apology videos for Total War, and also tons of speculation videos that they have on what's the future, what's coming up, all this type of stuff. And also Admiral Prince, who has since ended his YouTube channel, but he still has his current videos from the last 3 weeks up. But most of his previous videos were all most dominated by speculation videos. And you can see here, Empire 2 confirmed these are the type of videos that that Admiral Price would put on his channel. Tons of speculation without facts. And the same thing with Melkor. Melkor just released a video about the value comparison. And I want to break this down a little bit more. And I don't want to pick on these two channels, but things need to be said. And also, Valoon has some criticism that I have towards his channel as well. So let's break this down a little further. Now, in all fairness, I have done some live streams where I did an Empire 2 video. What will be next? What do we want? What do we not want? Also, Empire Remastered. These are things that when videos come out, you're excited for discussing. When Rome came out and remastered, we're excited about it. We want to discuss it. These are things that we want to discuss in live streams and discuss together. And also, if you were in any of my live streams or viewed any of my live streams and watched them to the entirety, you would know that I've always been pushing not so much for Empire 2, but for a remaster or fixes to Empire itself to make it a better game than what it is. Although I do still enjoy the game as it stands on its own. But let's discuss further into what we get out of Melkor and what we used to get out of people like Admiral Price and other YouTubers of this, because it's not just them, folks, and I'm not just picking on them, because I could type in a search right now for Total War 3 Kingdoms, and look what we get. We get tons of speculation. You do get some reviews, but my thoughts on the future of 3 Kingdoms, I mean, it's just going to be tons and tons of channels out there discussing what went wrong, how it's going to get better. Now, these in its own self are not always a bad thing, because people are wanting to discuss it. They want to find out what happened, what went wrong, what's going on. We want some information. The problem is that when you don't have factual information, the video content that you're putting out could be misleading. Now, does CA itself bear responsibility in the amount of speculative videos that content creators are putting out there? And I would say that is a wholehearted yes, they do bear some responsibility. And what I mean by that is when CA does a press release like they did with Three Kingdoms, they don't really give you very much other than things that are easy to speculate on, things that confuse the average person like myself and you into trying to figure out what the hell they're talking about. So when you have somebody like Melkor who's trying to compile all these numbers and facts, and maybe he's just not the best one to break these numbers down and give his opinion on these things, because he then follows it up by basically saying that these new future super games that CA is wanting to put out is basically an equivalent of, if you want higher quality, you're going to have to pay for it, or if you want lower quality games, you can pay cheaper prices for it. So which one do you choose? And he even put out a poll to ask people what they wanted, and he just did a video about it. And I think it's quite misleading, because the options on his video or on his question didn't leave you options for anything other than, do you want a high quality game for a high price, or do you want low quality games for a low price? I mean, who in their right mind wants a low quality game? And really, what does low quality mean? Does that mean low quality graphics? Or does that mean low quality in experience? That is not really explained, because quality can mean a lot of different things.
Here we go.
Yeah, here we go. All right, so discussing Melkor a little further, I also want to bring up the point that how does he know exactly what a super game is that CA is referring to, unless he's getting information directly from CA to explain to him what in particular a super game is? Therefore, if he's not getting information directly from CA, he's simply speculating on what that means. We don't know. We simply don't know yet. Now, it's highly possible that he is absolutely correct, and that's what super games are. These games that you're going to get for a cheaper price, like the EU4 format, and you pay tons for DLC up to what I think EU4 has like $350 or more in cost that you have to pay for all the DLC. To me, that's not a good option. And your only option is that you have to get that if you want high quality. If that's the case he's making, how can you justify that? How can that be okay? I simply don't understand how that's okay. And in the next part, I'm going to break that down a little bit clearer. Okay, so sometimes you got to go back to the start to finish things off. So we're going to go back to the start of where I started on YouTube with Total War, with Prince of Macedon, the person who has been championing the Rome Total War experience for longer than anyone else. Yes, Melkor. He has been covering Rome Total War consistently more than anyone else. And I say that because he was left out in the cold by CA in any coverage of the Rome Total War Remastered Edition. Now, if you're wanting to go back to the nostalgia, you would think that you would go back to what made the start. You think you would want to include those people, no matter what your opinions are of them. To a lot of the people in the community, Prince of Macedon is an established figure and consistently has put up content that has a great amount of views for his Rome content. Now, does he get more than Melkor at this point? I don't even know. Let's take a look, because now I'm curious on that. Any Rome Total War video that Melkor gets, I mean, honestly, does he even put out much Rome content? He puts out a lot of talk about Rome, but does he play it much? He plays AI stuff, but I mean, I don't really see a whole lot of him playing. He does play it. I know he does because I've watched it, but it seems like it's been a while. I mean, yeah, sure, he gets all these views on these clickbaity stuff, but I mean, when it comes to gameplay coverage, I mean, as old as it is on his channel, like his most recent one, he still gets 9,000 views. So whatever you want to say about Prince of Macedon, he still is a part of this community. And he should be given some sort of respect. And I don't blame him. He doesn't seem to be playing Rome Remastered, and I can't fully blame him. I have no idea why. I don't. I do know that he's working on another channel and starting to make it a success. So I'm very proud of him for that. But back to our other topic, the conclusion of this video. Now, a lot of times failure is looked upon as being a very negative thing. Failure is considered a disaster. So if you listen to other people on YouTube, they're going to tell you Empire's a failure. Empire Total War is the biggest failure that CA has had. Now, where the game has been buggy and has had difficulties and problems, yes, there is those things. It's not optimized. There's things about it that still need to be fixed. Now, is it a failure? I don't know. In some people's view, it is. But what should you do with a failure? A failure is not something that you pack up from and leave. A failure is something that you continue to work at, to get better at. Failures make you better. Failures are what makes leaders strong. Without failure, a leader will never become successful, because it is through your failures that you become better, that you learn from your mistakes. Now, speaking on those terms, when you have something that you walk away from, it gives the impression to a community that you have abandoned them. And that could also be considered what people are feeling towards what has happened with Three Kingdoms. Now, I must tell you that this is speculative, and that it is my opinion and my opinion only. But I feel that if you have a company that sticks with products that they make, that doesn't abandon support for the quality of games that they make, it builds trust in the community. It builds trust that you don't have people questioning your decisions, your decision making, the products that you put out, the failures that you have, constantly bickering and complaining about the failures you have. Now, we can also talk about competition for CA, because it is often brought up that CA does not have competition. Now, that may be true, and there is possible contenders down the road, but having no competition does not give you excuse for not wanting to be a leader to the community. And what do I mean by being a leader? A leader in the community does not allow your community to not have the facts and have all the information it needs to have conflicts in the community. You are there for guidance. Now, you can't send messages that are open-ended, that can have many conclusions drawn from them. It's better to spell things out. And that might be somebody that you might think I don't have business knowledge, but I do. Matter of fact, I was in retail management for almost 20 years, and I do have a lot of experience in running business. And the people that you serve are your customers. And you have to have trust from your customers in order to make your business stronger. So it is through trust that makes you a successful business. So, let me leave you on this. What would the trust in CAB going forward? Would you see videos of speculation on what is to come, what's happening, what's going on, why are they doing this, why are they doing that? Would you see people in the community making these type of videos? Would you see the angry rants? Would you see the criticisms that are so vocal and so strong from people like Valoon? Would you see that if you had a business that did not abandon their projects, that always had support for their customers no matter what, that always tried to fix the problems in their products? The trust would be there from the consumers, and the trust would make you a successful business. Because money is not the only thing that a business has to achieve. The business also has to know where it's going. Because the money that you make only fuels the car. But where in the hell is the car going?